Wes Watkins was raised on a small cattle and peanut farm near Bennington, Oklahoma. As a young boy, Wes was involved in 4-H and FFA, and later became a state FFA president. He found time for leadership positions in school despite working 3 part-time jobs, playing basketball and baseball, and earning the title of salutatorian of his graduating class. Wes's determination and success followed him to Oklahoma State University, where he worked on the college farm and lived in a converted chicken house. He was an honor student, president of the OSU student body, and outstanding agriculture senior. He earned bachelor's and master's degrees in agricultural education from OSU. In 1974, Wes won a seat in the Oklahoma State Senate. 2 years later, he was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, where he served 4 years on the Banking and Finance Committee and on the Science and Technology Committee. He then served 10 years on the House Appropriations Committee, where he worked to increase funding for rural economic development and education programs in Oklahoma. Wes ran for governor in 1990 and 94. In 1996, Wes again won election for the 3rd District congressional seat. He was re-elected by wide margins in 1998 and in 2000. Wes has served on the House Ways and Means Committee, and in early 2001 was appointed to the House Budget Committee. During his many years in government, Wes has been a tremendous supporter of career and technology education. Recent examples of this support include his securing nearly $1 million in federal funds for the Career Tech Learning Network and his support of the Francis Tuttle Endowed Chair at OSU. Ladies and gentlemen, please salute the namesake of Wes Watkins Technology Center and a great supporter of career and technology education, Congressman Wes Watkins.
What an honor it is for me to be here tonight to present one of the Hall of Fame inductees. And this gentleman is certainly no stranger to Oklahoma. He has fast become one of the most influential and respected congressmen in the United States. As we've seen, Wes grew up and attended school in the little town of Bennington, Oklahoma, which is in Bryan County. His first involvement with the vocational education was in VOAG and FFA his freshman year in high school. Now, many people don't know it, and you certainly wouldn't believe it today, but Wes had a very bad speech impediment in his early childhood years. In fact, if it were not for a very caring FFA instructor, Mr. Harold Chitwood, Wes would not be where he is today. Mr. Chitwood would encourage Wes to participate in livestock shows, judging events, and even speech contests. Through many hours of practice and determination, Wes overcame this obstacle. The Watkins home was a modest home, but a home filled with love, where a very fine Christian lady struggled alone to support her daughter and 2 sons. Mama Watkins knew the importance of an education and stressed this very much to her 3 children. Wes wanted so desperately to go to college. But there was another obstacle in his life: money. When he arrived on this campus with his 2 pair of tough nut blue jeans and 3 or 4 shirts, he was hoping he could earn enough money to stay for 1 semester. He didn't have the money for a dormitory or apartment, so he and his brother LV lived in the abandoned chicken house on the west end of the campus. He worked part-time as a custodian, mopping floors for Mr. J.B. Perky, the state director of Oklahoma Vocational Education. He became the FFA president, state FFA president, president of the OSU Ag Council, chancellor of Alpha Zeta, and selected as outstanding agricultural student. 3 years after entering OSU, some 13,000 students elected this young man from Bennington, Oklahoma, as president of the OSU student body. He was already a leader. Wes's lifetime goal has always been to create more jobs in Oklahoma. He wants to keep our young people here and give them the quality of life they deserve. And while he has made numerous contributions to our fine state toward achieving this goal, one of his most significant accomplishments happened in the late 60s when he pioneered and developed the concept of area Votech schools in Oklahoma. I remember it well, as I was fortunate enough to be one of the directors on the Kiamish Economic Development District. Wes was our executive director. As most of you people in Votech know, required some changes in our state laws. It also required 3 special elections, an intensive education program, door-to-door campaign, as a matter of fact, to the voters. Wes pioneered these also. After many hours of hard work, we were able to get the system in our area. McAllister, Podo, Hugo, the first schools. The rest of the state followed suit, and what a system we have in this state today. Tomorrow and in the future, as you drive by or go to work at one of the area Votech schools, just remember it would not have been there today if it hadn't been for Wes Watkins, his dream, and also his determination to overcome obstacles. Wes later became a successful businessman in home building and land development before being elected state senator. He won a seat in Congress in 1976, where he continues his effort to build economic and job opportunities by providing millions of dollars to help build additional Votech schools. He founded Rural Enterprises, which has helped finance over $300 million in industry for the state. He also established and built the first business and industry incubators, which have expanded into a nationwide system. And Wes provided the first ever line item funding in Congress to assist Oklahoma Career Tech in developing high-tech training and incubator systems in Oklahoma. He has received numerous state and national awards for his dedication and love for the Votech system. Just this year, he was honored for the Distinguished Service to Vocational Technical Education by the National Association of State Directors of Vocational Technical Education Consortium. And before I let this honored and well-deserving friend take the podium, I want to share a conversation I had in the late 70s with a quadriplegic Vietnam veteran who was running the elevator in Wes's Washington, D.C. office building. As my family and I entered the elevator, he said, "What floor, please?" I said, 514. He said, "Ah, Congressman Watkins." He said, "You know, I know all the congressmen in this building." And he said, Wes Watkins, Congressman Watkins, he called him, comes to work before any of them and leaves after the rest have gone home. Then he asked, "But do you know the difference between Wes Watkins and all the other congressmen in this building?" I'll always remember his reply. He said, "Congressman Watkins knows me." Wes Watkins, a great humanitarian. Ladies and gentlemen, for induction into the Oklahoma Vocational Technical Hall of Fame, I proudly present my friend, the Honorable Wes Watkins.
First and foremost, I want to say thanks to my dear friend, Charlie Baggett, for that introduction. You know, there's no such thing as a self-made person. Any person has had to knock, and I've just been thankful that many people have opened that door for me in my life. And I want to take my 4.5 minutes. Lisa says she's going to disown me out of the State Department, Roy, if I didn't stay within 4.5 minutes, to say thank you. Thank you to the State Votech. I accept this honor, Harry, Vic, all of you, with great humility. And I need to share it with a lot of people, and I'd like to do this in kind of chronological order. First, I want to thank God and my Creator for allowing me the opportunity to be here on this earth and to be able to be around people that were willing to help. First, I want to also thank a lady that's not here, my mom. As Charlie indicated, my mom was a lady that I always said that had very little formal education, but she had a world of wisdom. And she wanted her 3 children to have an education. And all 3 of us went on and received advanced degrees. My my sister and my brother are here, and I'd like for you to know my sister Althea, who paved the way. Althea and her husband Gene, and also my brother LV and his wife Brenda, right over there. LV came up here. Both of them did quite well. In fact, my brother came up here and made a 3.95 his freshman year. And I thought, you know, there's one dumb one in the family, and here I come. So I don't know. But they paved the way, and they truly were role models for me, and I want to thank them for that. Also, Charlie mentioned a BOAG teacher who had planned to come here tonight, but he had Mr. Harold Chitwood, who was like my second father. He had heart bypass last Friday, and shared with me Sunday that he couldn't make the trip, so he thought he better not make it. But truly a man who recognized maybe determination or will in me, and allowed me to stand up day after day in that BOAG class to read from the Farm Journal, the Livestock, and many other magazines, because he knew I had a dream of being Eddie, the state FFA president. And thanks to Mr. Chitwood, he opened many doors for me. And even though a drought occurred, I loved agriculture so much that I came to Oklahoma State University on a scholarship and majored in agriculture. There I met many wonderful people. Many of them I will not mention tonight, but I want you to know when I became a state officer in FFA, Cleo Collins, who was my supervisor for the Southeast Oklahoma. Ralph Treason, who is here tonight. Ralph standing up over there, who Ralphisms have meant a lot to me throughout life and what he's has said many times. You've heard others mention, but one I like to mention is a fellow whom I mopped floors for. That's the job I had when I was state FFA president. We didn't get paid, Casey. As state FFA president, I gave me a job mopping floors over at the State Votech, and it was the wealth I gained from a guy named J.B. Perky. I sat at his knee, and many of you people who did not know him, you missed a wonderful tutor, a guy who had a lot of sage advice, and he was the state director of vocational education and state advisor of the FFA. And probably the wealth of knowledge I gained meant so much. And it was here at OSU, which really opened the world to me. Truly. I came from that small community of less than 200, lived outside that community, family. But coming here opened the world to me and gave me a tremendous opportunity. It also gave me an opportunity, having been raised in a broken home, to meet a young lady who has now been my wife for 38 years. She's been my partner, and truly one that has worked hand in hand, and one that I've shared the dreams I've had, and she's shared and worked with me those dreams. I'd like for all of you to know my wife, Lou. She has also given us 3 children. I'd like for you to meet 2 of them tonight are here. Our daughter Martha, her husband Arthur's not here, but also our daughter Sally over there, and her husband Joe Vilma. And Wade and Diana, our son Wade, they're new parents. This is the first day they went back to their jobs, so they had to take little Emma to the daycare, and that was try to traumatic day for them, so they begged off. They want to make sure that all was well. So they would have come also. But also, I accomplished something else. I gained a new mom along the way, and I'd like for all of you to know Laura Beth Rogers. Mom Rogers, stick up your hand there. And Lou's father was the late Dr. Reverend Lewis R. Rogers from Cushing, Oklahoma. And with that, a couple of brother-in-laws, Lou's brother John Rogers here and his wife Jeannie. I appreciate them coming out tonight. Also, I have some staff here that see me through a lot of problems, and former staff, congressional staff members, Linda Whitworth and Nancy Rogers and Kelly Payne over there, and Audrey Trapman's former staff member here. If you'll stand, I appreciate them coming and being here also. And also a couple of campaign people, campaign chairman Brenda Magnaberg and Tom Duggar, the treasurer over there. I appreciate them working with me. But most of all, I want to thank all of you who have allowed me to cross your path, allowed me to come your way, to allow me the opportunity to serve you in the United States Congress in many different activities. And I want you to know I accept this honor with great humility and a special thanks to all of you.